Hello. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Omo stream. Hello. Hi. Oh, thank you. So you may have noticed something different on the stream today to the bottom left of the screen. Can everyone see that? Yes, you're right. It is the swear jar. I have created a swear jar for this stream, which I will explain right now. Let's see. Let's make it a little bigger. All right. So here is the swear jar. um, so last time we were on stream, we were playing Getting Over It, which meant that I cursed a lot. I know I typically try not to curse too much on stream, but sometimes I let one or two slip. But I thought it'd be really fun to play um, play a game with it. So no, I did not finish Getting Over It. I didn't. I I barely. I don't want to think about it actually. Anyway, so what I thought would be really fun is if I started a swear jar. Hmm. So every time I curse, I think what will happen is uh, I will give $100 to a charity, a different charity every stream. I don't know if I could do this every stream, depending on how much I'll curse. But I think that as much as we can, I will try to give $100 per stream to a charity for each time I curse. So I will need chat to keep track of how much I curse. And then what will happen is I'll make the donation after the stream and I'll post it as a reply to the stream on Twitter. Yeah, yeah. So it's a curse jar. um, but yeah. So today's donation is going to be Kitten Rescue Los Angeles. I will. So I think that since I do actually want to give donations, if I don't end up saying like 5 curse words a stream, I'll just say 5 really fast at the end so we can um, give some money because I would feel bad if I did not say anything all stream. Yeah. Um, and then at some point, maybe if I stream too much on stream, it might be, you know, it's okay. That's fine. But yeah, so this week we are, or this week we are donating to Kitten Rescue, which is a organization in Los Angeles that rescues kittens. So if you look at the pin message by the mods, you can link to the Kitten Rescue. Yes. I'll say one. Which one should I say first? No, actually, maybe it should be. Maybe it should be. Maybe it should be natural. I don't know. Yeah. um, but yeah. So, yes. Okay. Uh, we will start drawing momentarily. I don't think crap counts actually. um, but yeah. Anyway, so other than that, this is something that is a little. As you guys might know, um, I suff I kind of like I have like a lot of like anxiety and like um, confidence issues. So I thought that it might be fun to. Well, so before stream, I always go through a lot of. I like get scared about streaming and stuff, but usually I can get over it, and I'm doing this to raise my confidence anyway. Yeah, but so I thought that maybe um, hopefully we can see the progress that we're making with getting my confidence up and my anxiety down with every stream. So I also gave myself a little health bar. And it doesn't move, it's just a PNG, but it's just like how I feel before the stream starts, and hopefully it gets better with like every stream. And then Yeah. And then as far as how I'm feeling today, I would say, I'm all right. Yeah. But yeah, I'll move this to the side. You can just keep it on stream. Hopefully, you know, as I keep streaming, it'll get better. But yeah, there's good days and there's bad days, y'all. You'll know that. Yeah, today's kind of like a day, but I said I would stream, so I would do it. Okay, so oh, it looks like a lot of people got plushies. Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you for getting the plushies. I'm glad that you guys like them. We thought that they would last a bit longer because we've already restocked them a few times, but you, yeah, you guys are crazy. We try to restock them as soon as possible, so hopefully soon. I'm all right. Someone asked me how I am. I'm all right. Hello. Yeah, some days are just better than others. I don't know if anybody here has problems like that. Oh yeah, but anyway, for the color wheel over here, I realized that I was putting this off because I really don't like drawing wheels. I don't like drawing like a wheel. So I decided to change it to something that's a little bit more like straight on like this. I think that might be really cool when it's finished. And I'm still drawing indie characters, so I feel like it's okay. Yeah, but yeah, the other day I started this, I feel like that was kind of like an off day for me. So I kind of want to like redo the whole thing. So I might just redo all the characters. And I kind of want to draw them facing straight forward anyway, because I feel like that's more my speed. I like drawing people looking straight at you. It's like a very, it's literally in your face, so. Yeah. Well, let's start. Oh, today I'm drawing indie game characters, yes. The first person I'm drawing is Ib from the game Ib. Which is a really good game. You should play it if you haven't. Oh, actually, maybe I can like I can put a little image of the game that I'm drawing currently on the screen. Let's see if I could do that. There you go. All right. Yeah, so this is Ib from Ib. I guess I'm doing I'm promoting these games also as I'm drawing them. Yeah. But how's everyone today? How's everyone doing? I hope to make some good progress on this today. I don't think I'll finish for sure, but I'll try to get as much done as I can. And I'll probably have like a part 3 and a part 4, to be honest. Yeah, it's funny because Ib used to be very well, actually indie games used to be really niche in general. I wonder why they suddenly got so popular. Yeah, it used to be like the smallest what do you call it? Like the smallest demographic of gamers. It was like 10 people knew all of the Japanese horror RPG games. But now I feel like there's a lot of art of them and everything. They seem to have gotten a lot more recognition, which is good because they're all really amazing. Actually, is the sound levels okay? I didn't ask this time. Yes, watch Ib. Or play Ib. You can watch Ib too, I guess, if you want to just watch a playthrough. Ib is good though. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, and usually when I'm drawing, I try to like put a little bit of the original style into the artwork, so I think I'll try to, it's gonna be my style, but also like a little bit of the references style. Oh yeah, actually that's really strange because last stream people were saying that there was buzzing too. But then we checked it out and there didn't seem to be buzzing for other people. So I'm not sure why. Only some people have buzzing. Weird. Very strange. Yeah, and I think if we draw with like this kind of more portrait style, we're able to see a little bit of their outfit too, which is what I really want to draw, like their clothing and stuff. So I think it's better if we do that. Yeah, and if you've been following me for a while, then you know I really like to draw people facing forward. I just really like to do that. Oh, a bee on the mic? Another thing I did this time, if you notice, is that I adjusted the camera so I'm not looking down anymore when I'm drawing. So I hope, yeah, it's just not me looking down with my eyes closed the whole time. Oh, just the bomb in your computer, so silly. Yeah, and if you guys are artists too, feel free to draw alongside. Although I do want to know what you guys are drawing if you are. You spent over $500 on Omori merchandise. That makes me really nervous. But thank you. I hope you are taking care of yourself too. Please, you need to eat and take care of yourself. But yeah, even if I'm nervous today or I have I'm a little off today, I'm still streaming because I wanted to help me with that. And I think I've actually gotten a lot more confidence since I started streaming, so it's working! It's working! It's just, yeah. Some days are off, you know. Some days feel off. Some days are weird. Thank you. Oh, a lot of people are here for Omori today. Is it because I'm drawing indie game characters? I feel like unusual streams. The chat doesn't go as fast. That looks pretty good. There's a lot of questions to stream. So there's a question about like working in RPG Maker. It was very difficult. I wanted to make a more in RPG Maker because I love RPG Maker games, but it did make a lot of things very, very difficult in general. But I guess the good part is that it's a lot easier for someone like me who's a beginner to learn how to program. So I think I was able to have I was able to directly affect the game because I could program myself. Because we were using RPG Maker, which was a lot easier, I think. Probably than if you were using something else. Thank you. A lot of love today. Yeah, we're still drawing the color wheel. It's not a wheel anymore. It's like that's like planks of wood or something. Yeah. Damn it. I said damn it, that counts. Okay. One swear. And the swear jar. Well, actually two, because I said it twice. Let's try and... There you go. Ah, so if you want to make a game, I think for advice is definitely having a good team that you can trust. I think that's very important. That and having a good knowledge of a lot of most of the things that I mean, like I would say everything, but maybe you can get by without not knowing some things, but probably knowing a bit of everything that you need to know to make a video game. So a bit of art, a bit of music, a bit of programming, a bit of writing. Because if you're making a video game on your own, you're essentially, well, I'm assuming if you want to have a small team, then you'll have to learn how to direct. But if you want to do everything yourself, then you have to know all those things really well. Because you'll have to do it all yourself. But, you know, most indie games they're not really made by one person. Even if one person is touching most of everything, they're always asking other people for advice or for their thoughts. Like even if it's just advice, I think there's definitely always more than one person who's responsible for a game. Yeah. Advice for writing a good story. Oh yeah, so yeah, back to the previous point though. The people who you surround yourself with are important. I guess that's just life in general, but especially when you're working on a project, I think your team, who your team is very important. Very important. And also making sure everyone's on the same page and making sure that they know that you're there for them. And yeah, stuff. So advice on writing a good story, at least for me, I mean, it's pretty obvious with Omori, but you have to put in a little bit of yourself into it, right? You don't have to. You can definitely write a story that's like technically good, maybe. But yeah, it depends on your definition of good, because Even if a story is not written very well, if it makes me feel something, then I still think it's good. Yeah, but not everyone thinks the same way about those things, so you probably have to give a bit of yourself into the writing. Yeah, I think I can't even say my writing style because I've only written one thing. But the things that I look to when writing is how it makes you feel. So it's not necessarily about what's happening, but how do you feel while it's happening. Does that make sense? Yeah. Because, like, have you ever watched a show where, like, all these things happen and it's all really cool and great, but then you're like, but I don't care. Yeah, that's not what you want. Sometimes you'll go across something and it could be the smallest thing happening to a character, but because you care so much about them, you're, like, really impacted. That's what matters to me. Does that make sense? So many questions. Let's see. Have I pushed someone down the stairs? We'll save that story for another time. Where did the idea for Black Space 2 come from? So, from my understanding, I think Black Space 2 is what, like, people in the fan base have called the extra parts of Black Space at the end of Omori. What's it called? The neutral route? Yeah, so I think I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but Black Space 2 is the first iteration of Black Space. Oh no, I have talked about this. Yeah, so the first iteration of Black Space was the Black Space at the end of the game, the one where you can wander a little bit more and is a little bit more like Humanity inspired. So when we were putting together the game, that was the first version of Black Space we made. And then after I played through it, I thought, like, this is way too slow paced for this version of the game, and we need something with a little bit more, like, punch, because you kind of, like, anticipate Black Space at that section of the game. So if it was something a little bit more subdued and quiet, I feel like it'd be kind of a letdown. So that's why it got a little crazy. Yeah, I think I designed it all and made like the separate rooms, like made all the rooms probably in like 3 or 4 days or something. A very, very short amount of time. Because technically all that stuff is extra, right? It's like, oh, we have a Black Space that functions already. But then I look at it, I'm like, no, not good enough. And then I have to, like, remake all of it. But then I feel bad asking anybody else to remake it because I want to remake it. So then I just do it all myself. Yeah. I'm just like, oh, this isn't good enough, but I don't want to ask anyone else to do it. So then I just do all of it. Yep. But anyway, that's Black Space 2. Black Space 2 was the first reiteration of the Black Space that you see in the game. And the normal, what's it called? The true route, or actually both routes of the game. Yeah. $100 is donated per swear. $100. Oh, actually, that reminds me. I have like a funny picture. Well, actually, I'll just tweet it later. I drew like a funny sign for guests that were at a party at my house this Sunday. Yeah, so I drew Sunny at the staircase with a sign that said, "Do not go upstairs without asking," or something like that. I'll tweet about it later. I think the sign's still up. It's kind of cute, so we never took it off. Or I never took it off. Let's see. Any other questions? Seems to be a lot of questions today. Many questions. Everyone's so curious. Yay! Well, anyway, I think it looks pretty much done. At least the line art. We could probably continue. I think the next one is Kel. Kel! But yeah, so questions about the game I think typically are fine. Just nothing that will give me will make me stress out. I guess. would be nice. Thank you. What inspired the motion-based gameplay? I mean, it's basically just rock paper scissors, right? Rock paper scissors RPG, pretty typical. Most RPGs have it. Of course, Pokemon's the most common example with like fire, water, grass. But then there's also like Fire Emblem, which has like spear, axe, sword, and stuff like that. But actually, something funny about the battle system. I think I talked about it before too, but it was put together really late. Like I think September or something before it came out. So like the entire battle system, we like revamped it. So there were emotions and stuff, but nothing was quote unquote hit right in the heart. So that one, or like the one, yeah. So that wasn't in the game until September. Or so. I think somewhere around that summer. I can't remember the exact date. Yeah. But a lot of it was just at the end going, oh, this game needs this and that because we weren't able to do all that stuff before, but now we can. We can now. Also, me learning how to program really helped. So, yeah. So we did all that, and then me and the battle programmer for Omori, the person who was doing all the balancing for the enemies and stuff, we kind of put together the boss rush section in like just the boss rush section in general in like also a week. She was like, oh, the game needs a boss rush. Okay, let's do it. And then yeah, I think a lot of the end was trying to fill up the neutral route, the end of the neutral route, because we knew that even though most people play the true route, we wanted there to be a lot more extra stuff at the end of neutral route, so the people who got there didn't feel like they felt like they still did get some extra content. Yeah, so we tested a lot of the like the extra bosses. Yeah. Made extra side quests and stuff. Actually, are there any characters in OFF that are colored? Aren't they all black and white? That might be kind of weird. I guess we can't add it to the color wheel. Yeah, some questions about like game lore I don't think I'll answer because I just think it's more interesting if people have their own theories about it, even if there is an answer. Hee. Yeah. Okay, perfectionist tendencies. I will move on. We are moving now. We are moving to Kel. Kel. Okay. Let's see what we have with Kel. There he is. What a guy. I'll draw him facing forward though, so he's not gonna look like this. He's just kind of reference. For some reason I need reference for my own characters. My favorite extra boss for neutral content. Neutral route content. What are all the bosses again? Let's see, we have... Oh wait, actually this might count as spoilers. Spoiler alert. Is it okay? Should I talk about it? Can I talk about it? I mean, it's like sort of spoilers. It's like spoilers to like extra content, I guess. But yeah, let's see, what are they again? Oh, I guess it's extra content that was on console, but I really like Bossman Hero, of course. Bossman Hero is really fun. But yeah, I think what else was there? Space Ex-Husband, Perfect Heart, Abby. Why does the big strong tree exist? Because we wanted it to. It's literally like one of those dumb ideas where you're like, wouldn't it be really funny if you bumped into a tree and it was a boss battle, and then we did it. It's like, haha, wouldn't this be really funny? And then we just put it there because we thought it'd be funny. And then we're like, is anyone gonna find this? And then so we try to put it in a place where it's like we would estimate like maybe only 20% of players or something would find it, or like 10, because we weren't really sure. But yeah, it's like you put it in a place that's like inconspicuous, but also like conspicuous enough for people to bump into it when they're playing naturally. I think it worked out. It's a pretty good place. How about the air conditioning line in Humphrey? I think I put it there. I can't remember. It might have been like some placeholder text or something. Or it might have been just one of those other like, oh, that'd been really funny. Like, it'd be funny if we added this moments. And then we added in. I remember thinking, oh my god, I don't want to have this in the game. Maybe it's weird. But then there are people who are vehemently wanted me to keep it, so I just thought, okay, I guess we're keeping it then. But yeah, it's part of the reason why we got it a rated M too. So that's kind of funny. Again, not for the mature content, but for the gambling and the for when Humphrey says fuck. Wee. Darn. Donating to cats. How will I ever go on? Kinda want to add a basketball somehow. Maybe he's holding one. Like this. Maybe he's holding a basketball like this. Oh, his arms look weird. Hold on. Oh yeah. His arms are too long. One second. Well, I am feeling a lot better, guys. Thank you very much. Let me check this brush size. Size 10. Okay, there. Cal! Cal! I love Cal. We love Cal. Let's see. How does a... probably something like that. Yeah, sometimes I draw like something that looks kind of wonky and I fix it in the final draft. But I think it's because sometimes I like it when things look wonky. Like I don't really like. Sometimes I like it when things look a little bit weird and not like I guess what you would say as accurate. Yeah. Don't know why. That's just me. That's just me. Is Kel doesn't like milk and pickles because he eated them at the same time as a child? What do you think? Do you think Kel has eaten all the pickles? Oh, it's weird not drawing him with like the... I guess it's more true to the style. Aw, Kel. Ball of sunshine. He looks a little weird. I have to change his arms. Oh, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I need to have the top corner changed to Omori, weirdly enough. It was really weird searching Omori on Google. It's really weird. Okay, there it is. Omori. I made that. Did I expect Omori to be successful? I dreamed it would be successful. I think... of course, yeah, I hoped it would, but... It was a... I was not in a good place when that game came out. So I was not in a good place when Omori came out. So I hoped. I hoped with all my... every fiber of my being, I hoped it would be successful. But I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Like, I hadn't been on the internet for, I think, for like, God, maybe like at all. I hadn't been on the internet at all for like 2 to 3 years. Like, probably 2 years, I would say 2 years. But I had already not been on the internet for quite a long time. Before that. So I was just like, please. I hope people can see what went into this game. Please, 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 please. Like that. But as soon as we saw that it was getting like some traction, of course we got on the merchandise. Because I had like people that I hired to make the game. And after the game, it was like, well, we need to make some merchandise. So we all started like designing merchandise and stuff, of course. But we didn't realize how much we would have to make. Especially the plushies. What happened there? What happened there? It just exploded. Everything exploded. Yeah, a lot of great stuff happened at the same time. A lot of great stuff, but everything required a lot of work too. So I was like, wow, this is a great opportunity. Time to work a lot. And then we just kept working. We're just like, oh, what a great opportunity. But you can't really complain about things like that. If you get an opportunity, you should take it. Yeah. Something my mom used to say was, you should always, if you can work hard and make money, you should work hard, because there's a lot of people who work hard but they don't make much money. Yeah, that's why sometimes it's hard for me to take breaks, because I never want to, because I always want to feel like I'm taking it's not advantage, I guess, but I'm taking, like, you know, respecting the opportunity. I don't know. Okay, now I do line art. I'll make it clean. Yeah, he's not exactly in Omori style right now. He's a little bit more detailed than Omori style. I guess I have a few different styles. Or actually, I guess I think about it in terms of, like, the thing I'm drawing in the moment. Make changes based off what I think feels right, maybe. It's close enough to Omori style. Yeah, but Omori style is a mix of mine and the other artists' Omori styles too. It's not just my style. Oh yeah, and also the game, the art was made with, like, pencils, so you can't really replicate that in digital. We actually drew in, like, you know, pencil, and then we scanned it in, and then we edited it, so it has, like, a very unique look to the game. I wanted to make sure that game had a really unique art direction, so that's why we did that. Yeah. Time consuming, but I think it was worth it. The only thing is nothing's high res, so everything's just, like, super crunchy. I thought it was kind of cool that way, that it was, like, just, like, a really crunchy game. Makes it different. Thank you. Many pencils were used. Many pencils were sacrificed. many pencils. Yeah, we actually probably did use quite a bit of pencils, to be honest. And then we also, yeah, we use a lot of pencils, and then actually most of the art of our Omori is like made on copy paper, so yeah, we use a lot of copy paper too. Just like the thin copy paper you can get from like, I don't know, like Office Depot or something. I think his teeth look too stiff. Let's redo these lines. I really want to draw him like this, but it's like kind of weird to see Kel drawn like that. It doesn't look as much like him. That looks kind of weird too. The scans look really good, thank you. I mean, it was like maybe like a $60 scanner, so it was like a pretty good scanner. But yeah, actually the model of the scanner is discontinued, so we only have one, and it's our precious Omori scanner. The precious, because scanners don't scan the same way, so we just have like this one scanner that's the precious Omori scanner, because no other scanner will make the scans the exact same way as they were for Omori. Because we tried, we looked for some scanners, and nope, that's the only one. That is the Omori scanner. Yeah, we checked online, and I think they're like $200 now for no reason. I think it's because it was so cheap, but it scans so well. That's probably why. Like it was a pretty like good price for how good the scanner was. So that's probably why it's so expensive. People are willing to pay like $200 for this scanner. The official scanner. Maybe if we ever have another art show, we can have the scanner just like in a little pedestal. It'd be funny. Favorite Nintendo game? Well, I grew up with Nintendo, so I like too many Nintendo games. But if you guys talk about some, maybe I can share my opinions about them. Oh, scanner. Not scammer. Scanner. Well, you guys must know that I like Professor Layton, right? Everyone must know this. Actually, I don't make it that obvious, but I love Professor Layton so much. I love Professor Layton! I love it! Yeah, so I guess I'll just talk about some games I like. I like Ace Attorney, and I like Professor Layton. I like all games that are like kind of like sort of like visual novels, but they have some sort of game mechanic to it that's relevant to the story or like what you're doing as a character. So like you're in Professor Layton, you're solving puzzles, but like in Ace Attorney, you're like an attorney. So then you can do things here and there, but essentially it's just a point and click game, visual novel with some extra mechanic. Yeah, so I like games like that. So I'm playing this new one called Paranormal Sight, which is actually made by Square Enix, but yeah, it's a horror game that is kind of like that, where it's a visual novel, but it has some extra elements to it that is special specifically for that game. Yeah. Oh, right. And I also, yeah. So let's see. Out of all the Phoenix Wright games or the Ace Attorney games, I do like all of them, but my favorite one is probably, of course, the original trilogy. So I can't really choose. But I also like the Great Ace Attorney. I think the Great Ace Attorney is pretty good. For me, probably right below the trilogy. But actually, I also like, I can't remember what it's called. Oh my gosh. Like Spirit of Justice, actually. I like Spirit of Justice a lot. Because of, The Last Case. Ah! The Last Case! It's so emotional! Yeah. Yeah, so yeah. And I also like Professor Layton because he's a hunk. I mean, what? But yeah, I like Professor Layton. And I also like, what else do people say? I like Animal Crossing. I like Animal Crossing a lot. I played a lot of New Horizons. Yeah, so that was right when pandemic started, right? So yeah, the game came out and then I think it was my entire life for like 2 weeks, other than making Omori, because I was still making Omori at that time. Yeah, so I was like, make Omori. Actually, the whole. Now that I think about it, the whole team was playing. We were all playing Animal Crossing after Omori. So it was just like work on Omori, play Animal Crossing, and then we'd all go to each other's islands. It was a good time. I had fun. I can't play Splatoon because it hurts my I have this motion sickness thing. And I don't know what exactly causes it because only certain games have it. I used to think it was because of like how realistic games are sometimes affect how motion sickness I get, but now that I think about it, I can't play Splatoon either, so maybe it's not to do with simplicity. I don't really know. How did I feel when I finally finished creating Omori? I felt dead. I was a dead person. I felt yeah. I was not alive. Okay, so I have to get a. Actually, I have water here. Let me 1 second. I have to get water. Need water. Water break. Water break. It's possible that is motion blur. It's possible. It is possibly motion blur. My dog is in the room with me today. His name's Lucas. Say hi to Lucas. Lucas! He's ignoring me. He's a golden retriever. Got him off Craigslist. No, seriously though, I did. I got him off Craigslist. Yep, the artist dog. The artist dog is named after Lucas. Oh, I thought something that'd be really funny. So, one of the people in the company was like reading what's it called? um, questions from like some Omori like trivia quiz um that he found online. And some of the answers were like incorrect. I was like, oh, this would be really funny. I wonder if I could just stream this one day and tell people that it's not the right answer or something. I thought that was pretty funny. So we like answered like the right answer and it was wrong. We were like, no, it's right. You're wrong. But yeah, that was like pretty funny. Oops. I like kind of zoned out of drawing. I don't even know if this looks good. It looks alright. Probably good enough. Where did the idea of becoming a VTuber come from? Well, I just thought it made sense. But it was like a joke at first. And then I got a model made and it wasn't a joke anymore. And I actually wasn't going to use it. I was just going to keep it for myself and like look at and like use it like secretly. But then I thought that was kind of silly. I thought, like if I'm going to get this made, it's kind of silly to just get it made and like use it privately. So yeah. So then I debuted. There's a differentiation though. It's like, you know, I think that it's probably, I'm not really sure about like what people think about VTubers, but like for me, I think there's like a difference between like a VTuber, somebody who like VTubes like full time, and then somebody who like has a VTuber model. Like I kind of feel like I'm just an artist with a VTuber model. But I guess that's still a VTuber, right? It kind of depends on like the frequency of which you stream and stuff. But for me, having a model just means I get to connect more with fans. Because I want to connect more with fans, that's all. But yeah. There you go. Basketball. Yeah, so what's everyone else drawing? Is anyone drawing anything? Can Kel beat Goku? If I say yes, does it become canon? Cal. Huh. I feel like the brush is so much thinner on Kel than it is on Ib, but I feel like I use the same brush size. What happened? That works. I'll just make brush size 12 instead. Why did I scrap voice acting for the tag? Because I felt like it didn't really match the game. Although I do think it's kind of one of those things that's funner as an Easter egg. Oh, actually, someone asked if we can get an OMOCAT or more coloring book. So, one second, I have to cough. Okay, so there's like this really silly idea that I had that we never got to do because we were working on like a million other things. But I wanted to do like this of like Omori activity book where it was like kind of like dumb and like you could do things like what was it? Something's behind Sunny. Draw what's behind him, and then like there was like an empty spot for you to draw whatever's in the mirror. Yeah, I had this like idea. I want to release it for like April Fools, but then it got really busy, and now, well, maybe we can still do it. Yeah, and it was like, can you find all the black keys or something? You know, it was just like this like kids book, but then, but some of it would be like dark and silly. Yeah. And we also would want to make it pretty affordable too, because it's like a silly book that you'd find at like Denny's or something. So maybe if we find time again, we can do it if we have time in the future. Except we have a million other things to work on, so get excited. 1 million other things. Well, don't take my word for it. It's not really a million. But it is a lot. There are a lot of things that are going to happen. No spoilers. You'll just have to wait and see. Yeah. So the first Omori trailer... Oh, someone asked if I animated the first Omori trailer by myself. Yeah, and actually the fun story about that, I don't know if people know about this, but I made it as a GIF in Photoshop. It was a huge Photoshop GIF, which makes no sense. But I was, oh, sorry, not a GIF, sorry. It was a video. It was a video, but I made it in Photoshop. I think it was a project for school, actually. I made it for school. It was really funny because, like, of course the teachers don't get it because it's like some weird, like, what's going on here kind of thing. But the students really liked it. The other students were like, that was amazing, and the teachers were like, okay, you pass or whatever. You turn something in. What class was that for? I don't remember. What class was it for? I don't remember at all. We did all sorts of... I remember the class, though. Like, I remember we did all sorts of things in that class, which is why I'm having a hard time pinpointing what the class was, because everything we did was so random. I'm trying to figure out. It might have been some sort of theory thing, like some sort of art theory thing. I don't know. I don't know. He looks silly. Cal! Kel. Okay. And then let's do who's next? Who's next? Who's this? Yes. Oh, actually, I don't think I could use this as a guide. But I'll just put him here. Oh, and I can change the little thing too. This guy's from a game called Hylix. His name is Wayne. But yeah, do you guys know why indie games suddenly got so popular? So curious about that. Actually, maybe I can. Actually, Wayne might be taller than Kel now that I think about it. Wayne's pretty tall. No, I have to show all of Wayne. Oh, that's true. I think video games just in general got more popular because of COVID. Because everyone was stuck inside playing games. Have I ever tried the Grimace Shake? Yeah, but it was before I knew what it was actually. One of my coworkers was like, try this. And I was like, what? And I tried it and I was like, what is this? And then he said, it's a Grimace Shake. And then I died. I'm a ghost. Oh yeah, also if you guys hear a tambourine, it's because my drawing tablet is put on a tambourine. I couldn't find anything else around me, so I just grabbed the tambourine and put the drawing tablet on it. So if you hear it moving around, that is why. Oh wait, I have to change the... There you go. Now it says Hylix. Yeah, Wayne is probably taller than Kel, but since half of his design is the croissant, I can't really make him taller than Kel. So he will have to be like this. Actually, I want to find Wayne from the first game. Oops, sorry, I muted myself. I'm here, don't worry. What color is Russell from Enroll? I remember we chose between him and Sans last time, I think. But then Sans ended up winning. Actually, it's very unclear what's happening with Wayne, which is probably as intended. So this should be very quick. Fairly quick. Yeah, he's just wearing some kind of like leather suit. Hatsune Miku's not an indie game character. Well, she probably has an indie game now that I'm thinking. Or a game, but I don't think it's an indie game. I know there's Project Diva, but is there any like story-based game? I like how Miku appeals to like every generation. I'm actually surprised that she hasn't been along longer. I feel like she's always existed. Maybe she has. What other Nintendo games were you guys talking about? No, I never played Super Princess Peach, but I've always wanted to. So the characters are being chosen right now because last stream I did this. These were the ones that a chat chose, but then I'm just redrawing them for now. But after I finish Sans, I think we could choose again. So I think that's let's see. Sans is over here. So then these three we can choose. But actually, since I have 8 here, maybe I can fit in an extra one. Just an extra indie game character. Yeah. Yeah, I think I already said I wanted to do Nico for purple. Yeah, suggestions are nice. Once we get their suggestions, I will listen to them. Actually, I need to see how long this stream has been. Oh gosh. It's already been an hour and 20 minutes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ugh. I need to stretch. Oh, hi Lucas. What is it? Doggy. I feel like I can only draw probably for at most probably half an hour or 40 minutes. So we might not be able to make it to a new character today. Unless we draw one new character. Maybe we can draw one new character. Yeah. Ah. My dog is near the computer. I'm scared he's gonna turn it off. Yeah, I play Wadanohara, but it's a very long game. It's essentially I think Wadanohara I think of as like a character design showcase. I feel like that developer just had a lot of character designs they wanted to put together in one game. And then for Stardew Valley, I played it for a little bit, but I couldn't get super into it. Probably just because, yeah. But I do like playing Harvest Moon. Or Story of Seasons. That looks pretty cool. Lane. Okay, that works, I think. It's probably good enough. Let's continue. Who's next? Okay, so it's a Ralsei or new person. Choose now. But that means next stream I'll have to finish Ralsei. And it wouldn't be for green, it would be for, let's see what color. For this color, this blue. Actually, wouldn't Sans be this blue? And then who's the your turn to die person? Shin. Wouldn't Shin be? Well, Shin's like 10 million colors. But maybe his hair can dictate the one. Okay. Can somebody can you pin 2 tweets? Can a mod pin a vote tweet? So it's either Ralsei or pick a new character. Pick a blue. Actually, let's just do pink. Pick a pink character from an indie game we haven't drawn yet, or Ralsei. I am cool with either. Shikelle looks a little thin. Do we have a poll going? Can we do that? Do mods know how to make a poll? Ah, hello. Thank you for the raid. Thank you, Yashu. Yashu. Raid. Thank you, thank you. Hello. We are currently deciding what to do. Okay. Mod is trying to find out how to start a poll. Because we do not know how to start a poll. Well, we're new mods this time. This stream has newer mods. Hello. I'll just continue on these characters until we figure that out. And then probably we'll just do the line art for the character. And then after that, I will take a break. Oh, and this is my last stream until October because I'm going to Japan. Yay. I'm going to Japan. I think I'm going tomorrow. I should pack. Yeah. It should be fun. I hope it's fun. Gonna do lots of things. Thank you. I will enjoy. Yes. Okay, do we have the poll going? Yeah, I'll be there for like an entire month. And it is half work related, but also half fun. Yeah. Should be a good time. Should be a good time. I really like all the nature in Japan. I feel like we don't have as much nature that's easy to access where I'm from. Well, I guess we're in the middle of a desert, sort of, so everything's kind of dead looking. Everything looks a little dead. Oh wait, I can't see the poll actually. Can someone else? Oh, I see it now. Oh wow, okay, pink character wins by a lot. Okay, pink character. Shout out pink characters. They must be not from a game of origin, so it cannot be Sweetheart. Or Perfect Heart, or Mutant Heart. Because we already drew Kel. Let's see. What am I saying? I'm saying, let's see, Kangle? Kingle? What's Kingle from? So Kingle, Madotsuki, Natsuki. All right, let me write this down really fast. So Kangle, Natsuki, Madotsuki. Mochi's not an indie game. Okay, I see a lot of Kangle and Madotsuki and Natsuki. So let's do that. New poll. Can we do Kangle, Natsuki, or Madotsuki? Please, new poll. see Kingle. Actually, I don't even know if Kingle is pink. What's Kingle from? K. Oh, K Angel. K Angel. Oh, I see. Oh, what game is this? I kind of want to play this. I kind of want to play this game. Why don't I know about this game? I kind of want to play it. Maybe I could play it on stream one day. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We can do anything when I come back. Oh, Madotsuki is red. Madotsuki. I think it's pink. Oh no, the sweater is pink actually. I would consider it pink. I look at Madotsuki and like the 10th image has like Omori in it. So funny. Unreal. Unreal. Okay, new poll, new poll. Go, go, go. Choose. Choose! I thought K Angel was gonna win, but I think all the silent people like Madotsuki. Makes sense, makes sense. Me too. That was me. Quiet person that liked Madotsuki. Relatable. I think I posted one drawing of Madotsuki before. That I've done. Where she's smiling. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh no, it is 8 colors. Okay, we can't draw an extra one. This is it. So the last one here is going to be Madotsuki then. Yep, Madotsuki wins. Congratulations. To be honest, Omori probably wouldn't exist the way it is without Yumeniki, so this is good. Here we go. Yeah, and I also have Ib on top just to make sure the proportions are correct. So I'm just gonna draw the like this as a guide really fast. Because I assume they're probably around the same height. Okay. There you go. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. So there's a lot of different versions of Madotsuki because I guess there's like an official manga, but then there's also there's like a remake version where the hair is like so the version of the manga one, her hair's like shorter in the front, but then the one for the remake, her hair is longer in the front. And then when people do fan art of her, they always do different types of bangs, so typically, I think the way I used to draw fan art is I always do the original sprite work. That's how I always gauge how the features should look if there's like conflicting versions. I choose the official pixel art. That's usually how I do it. Congratulations, Yumeniki fans. What would Kel order at McDonald's? Very important question. What would Kel order at McDonald's? It seems like it. It seems like he would order just like a burger and fries. To be honest, he's probably not too picky. He'll probably eat anything. I don't think he would like if he went by himself to McDonald's, maybe he would, you know, choose, but I could see him being like, give me anything. Like that. Now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like I was secretly hoping that Madotsuki would win. Just because I feel like the indie game picture wouldn't be complete without her. Oh, a knife. Let's see. How loose is your sweater? I guess it's up to interpretation. A plain skirt. Have to move her a little bit. There you go. Kind of want to move her shoulder down too. Give her a little more of a slouch. Hehe. Are there people here who are like trying to make a video game and stuff? Or like people who do something creative? I would assume. Probably a few of you. Yes. Yes, making video games is very hard. Very difficult. As you can imagine. a lot of game design is about the games that you've already played and studying the games that you've already played. So the way I look at it is like your favorite games, right? The games that you can already play and are like readily available. All those people who made those games did like hours and hours of testing to make their game good. You know, so and they figured out lots of things for you already. If you like study those games and just like see what they do, or like think about why what they do works. And I think in general, a lot of the game devs I've met, all of us just want more people to make more good games. So I would say the game dev community is pretty helpful. Everyone wants to see everyone else succeed. I think it's just because everyone knows how hard making a game is. That reminds me, I want to play Sea of Stars. That game came out recently, huh? I got to play it at an event. I can't remember what event it was. But it was pretty good. I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah, and also you can always tell when there's a lot of love in the game. Mostly like in the small decisions. There are certain things where it's like you don't have to technically do this, but if you do, it'll make the game just a smidgen better. And some games are just full of moments like that where you think, oh yeah, somebody combed through this entire game and tried to make it better like 10 times. Yeah. Video games. I love video games. This arm looks kind of weird. Let's see. I could probably draw until like... Well, I could probably draw until like 5:55 and try to end the stream at like 6 or so. I always feel bad making the mod too long too. Like the Pokemon stream, I was like, I'm so sorry. And they punished me by not feeding me. They punished me by not ordering food. Yeah, when I was drawing the 151 Pokemon from memory, that stream ended up lasting like, like I don't know, like 5 or 6 hours or something. I felt so bad. Nah, they weren't mean to me. That's them normally. That's just how they are. They're just teasing. It's okay. They're gone now. They're gone to a better place. That's why we have new mods. Because I dealt with the old ones. Yeah, I ate them. I got hungry and then I ate them. They're gone now. Wait, what kind of knife does Madotsuki have? I should know this. Why do I know this? Is it a kitchen knife? Oh yeah, it is. Like a kitchen knife. I just didn't know if it was a kitchen knife or a steak knife. I knew it was shaped like this. Might be nice to stream some indie games. There's a few I haven't played actually. Like surprisingly, I haven't played Corpse Party, even though there's been like 10 versions of it. I'm just like, I'll just play the next one. Just kidding. It feels like right after every Corpse Party, the team's like, let's make the next one. Let's remake Corpse Party again. And they just release one every like 5 years. I do eventually want to stream Omori, but probably for something special. But I feel like it might take a long time because I'd have so much trivia about like every little thing. Yeah, one of the things with streaming that I was like really nervous about is like, just like, does anyone want to hear me talk? Like, like, isn't it better if I just don't say anything? Sometimes I think that way. Yeah, but maybe an Omori stream for something special. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like I'm not what people expect. Which I think I'm okay with. I don't think it diminishes my my accomplishments or anything. But yeah. I also just think I've mellowed out a lot. I've mellowed out a lot since when I first started. I'm like pretty I'm pretty normal. I guess it depends on who you ask. Yeah. I'm not really somebody who likes to like I actually don't like to stand out and stuff. I'm okay if, you know, my art is in the center what are they called? Spotlight? I'm completely okay with my art being in the spotlight, or I do work towards that, making my stuff, you know, spotlight worthy. But yeah, it's still kind of like a new thing to put myself out there. It's a little different. Oh, this braid is very, very detailed. Thank you. Let's see. Do I have an archive of apparel I've made? So I have like in my garage we have like a small of I think every single garment I've made, just like for me to keep as like memento. But since next year's 10th anniversary, might have some sort of thing where we can display them all. That might be really cool. Yeah, some sort of event or something. Yeah, so next year is OMOCAT's 10th year anniversary. Hehe. So that should be really fun. Oh yeah, I think my confidence has increased and my anxiety has gone down. So that what's it called? That thing isn't accurate anymore. I feel better now. I feel a bit better. Yeah, I just have like a lot of what do you call it? I have like problems with keeping my mood up. Yeah. Also, the streams are also supposed to help with that too. It's kind of risky though, but I think it's good for me. Yeah, I can be in like a really good mood, and then I'll be a completely different person than I am when I'm in a normal or okay mood. I just think my like central person, like who I am, just like at rest, is like really really low energy, and like it just takes a lot of effort to have energy. I'm like pretty low energy. I think a lot. I think all the time. I think a lot and I do a lot of things. But I don't say a lot of things. I yeah, I just think and then I do it, but I don't really talk. I don't really talk about it. So sometimes I do have a hard time explaining. But I did have to learn how to talk. Because I like run a company now, so somebody has to tell everybody what to say, right? Or what to do, right? So I did learn. I did learn for that. I did learn to talk a little better. Yeah, I'm pretty quiet. But recently I've been working on finding it easier to like share what I'm thinking. I think the streams really have been helping. Like I can see it a lot in my real life, which is good. I see like thoughts come to my mouth easier. Yeah. Like I had this, yeah, for a long time. Like when I was a kid, I barely even talked. So I had like this I have a hard time like connecting what I'm thinking to words. I can type easily. I can share my thoughts through typing, but it just doesn't come out of my mouth. But then yeah, eventually you have to try your best to get over stuff like that, right? You don't want to be stuck in like the same place forever. So sometimes even if it's risky, you want to do something. Like I think streaming was really risky for me, but I still did it. I did it. And now I get to talk to all of you. Another thing too is like, oh yeah, articulate. That's the word. Yeah. I had a hard time articulating what I was thinking. I still do sometimes. Like, you know, when sometimes you're like, can you get me the thing? They're like, what? And you're like, the thing. Why don't you understand? Can you put the thing in the place? It's like, what? I'm just like, the thing. God. No, it's just something to get over. You can do it if you have speaking problems. You can get over anything. Believe. I believe. Yeah, sometimes I think for me streaming is a lot of effort. I see people do it really easily though. Just like, wow, how do you do that? It's so cool. I've always been maybe around people with like a lot of natural charisma as well. Yeah. So I'd be like, yeah, I don't have that. I definitely don't have that. But who's to say? Maybe in the future I can. So, yeah. There are people who told me that I'm charismatic too, in like a different way. So, nothing wrong with being different. Nothing wrong with being different. Nothing wrong with being yeah. Nothing wrong with being yourself. Is it hard to make eye contact? Yeah, it's really hard to make eye contact. But actually, eye contact is a trust thing. So if you'd like, I can't remember who told me this, but if you don't make eye contact, people think they can't trust you because you're like not confident in yourself. So then for me, especially for business meetings and stuff, I'm actually like really good at eye contact during meetings because of course, like you don't want to be shifty during a business meeting, right? So weirdly enough, business helped me get over the eye contact thing. But I realized it was only during business meetings and meeting people from business. So in not business related situations, I still have a lot of problem with eye contact. Yeah, it's really silly. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going where life takes me. She looks cute. I don't know. I think I don't have problems if I like know what I'm supposed to be doing. I have problems if like I'm like free to do whatever I want and then I get really like confused. Like what? I have freedom? What do I do here? Isn't that weird? Were you the one that created Omori? Omori, like like an accusation. I mean, I guess I did do that at some point in my life. It's already been 2.5 years. Can you believe that? So crazy. The crazy thing about Omori is like I mean, I knew it was like a tragic story. I knew it was sad. And then people were telling me it was like the saddest thing ever. And I was like, it is? Am I just sad all the time and I don't know it? Well, I mean, I knew it, but am I just sad all the time? And is it really that bad? I was like, oh yeah, it's, you know, it's a sad game, but you know, it's about life. It's like realistic. And then everyone's like, realistic, are you okay? I'm like, am I? I don't know anymore. Yeah. But I knew it was like from a different point of view. I knew like I was making a story from a point of view that maybe people didn't really know or didn't really understand maybe. Welcome to my twisted mind. Well, since I'm drawing a knife, maybe I can use as an excuse to use my knife face. Hehe. Thank you. Everyone's so nice to me. You know, life has ups and downs. Sometimes life has a lot of downs. But you have to find whatever it takes to keep you going. Omori was sort of about that. But I actually don't like to talk too much about like what Omori means and stuff because I want people to play it themselves and come to their own conclusion. I think it could mean a lot of things. It's packed with meaning. But yeah, hopefully everyone else can get something a little unique out of it. That's why I don't like talking too much about like like the actual intention behind certain things. Oh, you got the tattoo of the light bulb. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I usually don't go through my comments and stuff because I don't want to see something I don't want to. But when I saw this time there was a person who got a light bulb tattoo, that made me really happy. So thank you very much. One of my friends he's from Mexico. He sent me a picture of somebody who got a something tattoo in Mexico. And I was like, wow, in Mexico? Cool. Should I give her more hair? I feel like she might need a little bit more hair in the front. Probably a little more hair. Maybe like a eyelash or something. Just a little bit of eyelash, not too much. I kind of like that Madotsuki doesn't have too much eyelash. Actually, maybe I'll get rid of it. I don't like it. I am... Oh, it's 6 o'clock. Oops. Sorry, everybody. Okay, so this ended up a little bit too clean. Dang. Yeah, it's too clean. Darn it. I like focus too hard. Yeah, usually I like things when they're a little messy, so this is too clean for me. Anyway, this was a nice chat. Thank you, everybody. I will have to end the stream pretty soon. I just don't want the mods to mod for 1,000,000 hours while I draw these. Yeah, Madotsuki is like an easy cosplay. Actually, a lot of the Omori characters are relatively easy too. I'm happy we have Omori cosplay as well. And I'm happy that Omori's still around, yeah. People still talk about it. Even now. Even though it's been 2.5 years. Actually, people used to call me the Grudge in like high school. It wasn't a very nice thing, actually. It was kind of a not nice thing. But I actually didn't mind being called the Grudge. Yeah, it's okay. I did have pretty thick eyeliner at the time. That was the style. Okay, well, that's pretty much it here. I'll just shade a little bit more and then we can go. Sorry, mods. I'm sure the mods wouldn't mind if I made the stream longer. I just I also feel like spreading this out is not a bad thing. And eventually I will run out of things to talk about. So oh shoot, my photo. No, it's been on Hilux this whole time. No! Everyone will be misinformed. Nobody will know Madotsuki's from Yuminiki. Well, maybe we should raid somebody actually. Can we look for somebody to raid? Maybe someone playing Omori. Ideally a random person playing Omori. And then we have to tally up the swears. How many? Only 3? Okay. I'll say 2 more just to make it a 500. You guys can choose. Oh yeah, it's my swear jar. Okay, I'll say the air conditioning line. That's 1. And then what else? Full for swear words. I mean, if you want to. You are a mod. I technically can't stop you. Okay, let's see who the mods say we should raid. Okay. Okay, I found somebody. Are we actually doing the mod for the swear words or or what are we doing? What I really love to the point of cursing. Video games? I don't know. I like cats a lot. That's why we're donating to cats. Do a rant on something stupid? I mean, I will say the air conditioning line. I will. I just need to say something else too. Okay, that looks pretty good. We'll continue on this next time. Okay, opinion on DMV lines. I'll just say, oh, okay, I got it. Let's change to the shop. Oops, 2 songs. There you go. All right. Oh, I'm nervous. What I got, like, what does that mean? It's weird. It's weird to be like, oh, it's weird to be like, it's weird to like curse on the spot because you have to. It's like weird. It's weird. I feel strange. Oh my god, my pop filter fell out. 1 second. Yuck, yuck. Yuck, yuck. I have an important announcement. Okay. I've. Why am I so nervous? This is stupid. So stupid. Stupid. Why am I nervous? I can't curse. I can curse before. I just have. I'm just feeling it. It's just. Yuck, yuck. Okay. I fucking love air conditioning. And I fucking hate the DMV. Okay. I did it. Swear jar at swear jar at 5. Okay. There you go. Yay. Yay. You guys are so silly. No. Okay. Well, I guess that's it then. So that's going to be $500. Yay, $500. That's going to go to the kitten rescue at Los Angeles, in Los Angeles. Congratulations. I wonder if there's like a little memo I can put, like, this money is, it's like, what's the reason for the donation? And I can write, I cursed 5 times. And that would be like the reasoning. Yay, $500. Yeah, I think we can, I feel like we could do this every stream if I keep it to a minimum. Well, I mean, like, oh, it's fine. We'll just do it every stream. Yeah, maybe we can play, what's it called? No, I don't want to play Getting Over It ever again. But maybe we can play something else and then we can have the, we can have the thing on, the, donations. Okay, all right. Well, that was great. Thank you guys for enabling me to curse. That was wonderful. Yeah, so I guess that we will raid somebody playing Omori. Okay, now it's set up. Yes, and I'll post the receipt for the I'll post the receipt for the yeah, I'll post the receipt for the donation later. Yeah, we're gonna do a raid. Yeah, thank you everybody for watching me draw today. This is my last stream before October, so I will be back in October. Hopefully I can finish up more of this drawing, and I also want to play a lot more games with everybody too. So yes, yeah. thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming to the stream. Take care of yourselves and have a good day. Bye, everybody. Bye.